Okay, I think we're good. Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, boys and girls. How are we all doing today? Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Yes. Yes, indeed. It has come once, It is once again time for us to discuss our military operations. Yes, indeed. This time, of course, we are going to. No, that's right. We're not doing squirrels this week because I essentially took a break last week from a lot of um my daily routines. So I took a break from the minimalist designs. I took a break from the brush work that I normally do. Um, I took a break from and the other one is writing the scripts. Yes, so a break from all of that. Yeah, and so I don't know. It felt like a nice vacation. Well, I mean, sometimes you do need a vacation from your hobbies, right? Like, I think that's perfectly legit. Oh wait, no. Let's start by just doing the same thing as we normally do, which is start with some terrain. And so today I want to focus mainly on sort of classical terrain-based combat that has no big rivers, but we will have small cities. We will have hills, mountains, depressions, that kind of stuff that will make things a little bit more challenging, right? Good. Yes. So we'll start with actually. What am I doing? We will start with this green, which is the green that we always use. Let's see, it should be at 7, and we will go do this. Oops. Is that not? Oh wait. Okay, so no, not that. And this will be this green. Excellent. Is that how it looks? Actually, I think so. Yeah, yeah, that is how it looks. Okay. So and then we are going to slowly build up the layers of this first one. So it'll look something along this line. Oh, weird. Why is it not? Interesting. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. We are going to just move this one over a little, so that we have enough room for everyone. Enough. Excellent. So we're going to start. Just let me lay down some ground, and the idea is really to have a nice, good old-fashioned land encounter. Why is it not giving me any? That's so weird. Anyway, it's okay. Yeah, exactly. I want to have something that's, because so far we've had bridges, we've had different positions like that. We've had what else have we had? I can't even remember. We've had a lot of different positions that have had a lot of water associated with them, and so I want to do something today that's not so filled with water. Yeah, like remember, if we go back all the way to like a few weeks back, or to the very first question, it had always had some amount of water being an influence in everything. So not having water is important. Yes, yes, it is. No, when I say yes it is, that means yes it is. Come on, bro. Yeah, so this is really just the terrain for the first bit. Yes, I mean, I guess you're right. I do have to fill about an hour's worth of content, so what am I gonna do, man? Wait, one. So this should be up here. This should be up here. Okay, so we have 2 layers. We don't actually need 2 layers like that, so we'll do this. So we can see that this has become essentially a hill upwards, and we're gonna have some mountains up here. We're gonna have some cities, and not cities, just small towns. Yes, not city walls, just cities. We'll deal with the legend when the time comes. Well, no. So the idea really is that as we develop this map, I also want to talk about a few other things. Actually, let me put those few other things up first. So just having it over here. Maximum width. Let's have that as black. So just some considerations. We're using 1870 technology. So that means needle guns. That means or yeah, put that up there. Let me just copy and paste it from what I had it before. Let's see. Wait, where is it? There we go. Shazpod. So we have stuff like the yeah, I'm still not used to this. So we have stuff like the Shazpod rifle. 20. There we go. Excellent. Shazpod rifle. And then we have stuff like the Dreiser rifle. So obviously there's a very big difference between those two. And then we're going to use blue and black again. Or blue and gray probably. And then we're gonna have the Krupp C4 on this end. So this is fairly standard technology between French and Prussian military equipment in about 1870, between the Shazpod rifle and then the Canon de Montagne 4, and then 4 pounds, and then the Dreiser rifle, and then the Krupp C64. Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of warfare in that era, because it was before industrialization really got like, because like World War One was when industrialization really took over for what a war would do, and essentially war itself became like, I don't want to say that total war started with World War One, because obviously that's not the case. But what is the case is that total war, I need more layers. That total war was more prevalent, or came into its own during World War One, simply because that was when. Oh, I need this up top just so it's visible. Yeah, that was when mass production really hit the stride, and we were able to generate so many weapons for so many men that we could have a single front line that spanned from the North Sea in France, Holland, Belgium, all the way down to like the Swiss Alps, right? And that's a long line, I will say. But before then, in 1870, this was never the case. Not only was that not the case, warfare itself was I don't want to call it cleaner, but it was still in the realm of princes, if I may put it that way. Which means that it was much less about painting your enemy as the bad guy. Obviously that happened, but it was more about a personal victory of the prince themselves. Does that kind of make sense? Right? Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to do that. No. Let's not do that. So no, what I want to do is I want to start drawing oh no, we do want a black border, but we want it to be 0.5, and this we want it to be like that. So I want to draw certain, excuse me, didn't I say I wanted it to be 0.5? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're going to start developing these hilly terrains on top of this. Just gonna have these guys put 5. There we go. Excellent. Rectangle. No, that's not it. Where are you? You should be down here. Excellent. Okay, so let's continue then. We're going to start having sort of hilly terrain and towns and other types of things for our two forces to be fighting over. Why do you not have color? Okay, can we just use this? Come on, guys. See, once again, there's no color. Why do you... I'll blame Affinity Designer for this. Yeah, so we're going to have hills here. We're going to have hills. That's not what I want. We're going to have hills here. But also we're going to have depressions. Yeah, I've given up on that. So we're just going to continue like this. There we go. Let's see, what is this? This could look potentially like that. And then actually we're going to start cutting bits out of this. So let's say I took this and I took actually this and oh, okay, I'm taking this piece and I'm cutting off this piece. So you see there's now a depression in here, and then I'm going to cut off another piece from in there. So say I'm taking this piece, first, and then I'm taking this second piece and I'm cutting another one out. So we are creating a depression where things can be fought over, right? There we go. 1, 2, excuse me. This is too far down. Okay. So 1, 2, subtraction. There we go. Okay, so that's a depression. We're going to create some more hills here. And the idea is we're going to then populate it with towns, small hamlets somewhere around here, and then we're going to have a southern force and a northern force. and then we're going to see how they can compete in just simply winning against the other, if that makes sense, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's essentially it. It's the idea of it being a secondary theater in perhaps some sort of Franco-Prussian type war, where they're still interested in victory, but they are this is sort of an isolated theater, so you're not going to get a lot of reinforcements. And what do you do with your limited reinforcements, right? Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, exactly. So we have our hills, we have a depression, and then we're going to, let me just real quick make something to the north here. Oops. Excuse me. Okay, good. 1, 2. And then 3. Yeah, that could oops, wrong color. That could very well work. The question was whether we would just simply let the crowds walk all over us. Probably. Okay, so these are all technically, let's call that green, right? Because they are all green, and then we're going to have another layer that is brown, and that simply stands for mountain, right? So we're going to add another layer, this one here, and what we're essentially saying is, look, there's a mountain over here. Be careful. With this, you mean this area, right? Like on the left. It could be a little boring, but I think we'll be fine. We'll actually be fine, for reasons that I'm going to get to in just a little bit. So this will have white, and then this will take on the brown color. Excellent. Then we're going to run this just a few more times. 1. So really just to show that this northern part is fairly locked down. Just give me 1 second as I answer a text. Come on, I've been doing this essentially every week. There's no reason to be surprised that I'm going to continue doing it. Well, you're welcome to not watch, I don't mind. I'm sure you funded it. No, you didn't fund anything, my boy. No, that's not how it works. You wish that's how it worked. No, this remember, this is on my own time, so I can literally stream and do whatever I want. Don't forget that. This comes down just a little. Excellent work. Yeah, so I think this is we're fairly good with in terms of territory. We can always add more, so that's not the end of the world. So we've got green, and now let's do. Thank you very much, my friend. Do you guys, our Twitch viewers are forbidding you guys in the Discord from bullying me. So now you're no longer allowed to bully me. Are we understood? Oh, that's very interesting. Apparently the Discord boys and girls understood that now they're no longer allowed to bully me. So I guess that worked out. Thank you very much, my friend. Okay, so let us continue this. We are going to now have the city layer. And let me just copy something from before. So just real quick, these are the same. This is the same type of stuff that I used last week. Just pull out some. Oh wait, where's the city? Infrastructure. There we go. Yeah, I should have named it infrastructure. Regardless, it's fine. Let us take not those, not that. Just enough of the city that we can just reuse it. And it's not like we're going to use a lot of it. We're going to essentially say, oh, like these are little farms. Ooh, right, I forgot that was exclusive. So let's do this. This will come over here. So essentially, you can see what it is. These are small scale towns that exist scattered across this land, and they might be targets to be fought over. So apparently they accepted that they're not allowed to bully me, but one person has decided to bully me over email instead. Knowing that I do check emails even during stream, just in case one thing leads to another. And the pop-up just popped up on my screen up here, even though it doesn't pop up, of course, on the stream itself. Let's see. Let me take this. We're going to take this type of stuff. We're gonna take these two, move them somewhere over here. Take these two. And so essentially the idea is, we create this nice set of villages for our two forces to fight over, and we want to essentially ask what happens when they do. Right, so we take some of this, take some of these, just so it doesn't appear like I'm copying pasting. Even though I clearly am, and it's fine. It's fine. So areas around here would be considered farmlands. It could be considered all sorts of things, and we are going to have a railway that essentially runs through. Yes. Should call this in. That's right. So we're gonna have a railway that essentially runs like this. Maybe not like that, like that. And off to like that. Add a little bit more. Excellent. Like this. So railways like that. Let us turn that into two. Oops. 2 2. Maybe not 2 2. Maybe 2 4. 2 4 looks good. We're gonna set that to 2. And then that won't be the only railway. We're also going to have one coming from the south like this. That matches into that. Right, so essentially we're going to have a fight over this town, which is that railway line. Where our gray force is going to come from the south, and then we're going to have various formations sitting here. And we want to see, well, I want to pose this question to in a lot of places actually, of what each of the forces would be doing. Like, oops, maybe not exactly like that. Maybe like this. Excellent. So that they line up properly. Yes, there we go. Right, so essentially all of these railways. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll have another one, and that'll come like that over here. Excellent. So interestingly enough, we have someone who's now apparently protecting me in the Discord, and whenever someone's trying to bully me, they what they say is, remember what Twitch has ordered you guys to do. I'm okay with this. This is great. So these are the railways, and we will start placing some forces. And in this case, we're going to take blue, which is, oops, not like that. We're going to take blue, which is the equivalent of France, and then we're going to use black, which is the equivalent for, or which will be the equivalent for Prussia, or maybe gray. We'll see. Oh, but this shouldn't go into infrastructure. No. Let me just take that away. I think infrastructure is fine. We are good here, so I'm going to lock that layer. And then we're going to actually get into the question itself. Question. And then we're going to have a blue layer where we will paste these guys. Excellent. So once again, we are working with 1870s technology. So that means rifles that manage to hit about 500 to 1,000 meters. There are no automatic weapons just yet. We have, superior cannons. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, we have superior cannons, and we have superior cannons. But gray will have superior cannons to blue, but that doesn't actually mean much. So let's put down some blue forces first. These are, and these will instead be hussars instead of dragoons. For whatever reason, actually, it's really interesting to me that dragoons were considered like dour, and non-sexy, but hussars were considered like some of the most sexy types of soldiers, and everyone apparently wanted to be one or wanted one as a husband. And it's really interesting because in the long term, actually, I'm not sure that hussars were actually that useful. Especially in this age where you could see your enemy coming and be able to hit your enemy from more than about a kilometer away, and that just meant that like it was almost impossible for mounted melee range cavalry to get into range and do enough damage to a moving enemy. And yeah, it's fascinating that they remained sort of so romantic in popular, like in contemporary militaries, whereas dragoons, which would actually be quite interestingly mobile and could have been used with great how do you say, with great success, were not at all used in such a fashion, right? Like it's very fascinating. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 21 divisions. We have 9 regiments of artillery, and let's give this one. So this is essentially 2 armies of blue, the blue force, and one and as we will see, one slightly bigger army of the gray force. Let me just copy the gray force real quick. So that's, I'll just copy. Oops. All right, this is the question. Where's the question? So I'll copy 1, 2, 3. Oh no. You know what? I'll just copy from here. Okay. We'll copy these. What are you doing to me? Lock this. Lock this. Okay. There we go. Much better. Copy these 6. And we're going to copy 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. We're going to move them over here. This is going to be one more layer. This is going to be perfect. Oh, actually, I don't need an extra of each. And the reason I don't need an extra of each is because I'm going to have to recolor it anyway. So the lines need to be cut. Oops, black, not see-through. What kind of gray? Maybe 55. Oof. Let's see. How does that look on our field? Not enough. 100, 100. Oh. Once again, 100, 100, 100. I think that looks good. Yes, excellent. Okay, so this then. 100, 100, 100. Excellent, excellent. You're welcome. Yes, I am teaching you guys how to count to 100. I'm glad you I'm glad you're able to follow my instruction. Oh, what happened here? Oh, what? They're the same. That's annoying. Huh. Well, luckily we don't use that question, but we'll know for future reference. Future reference, we'll just make a new link. Anyway, so these are hussars, but on the gray side, the cavalry are actually dragoons. And in my mind, at least, I've sort of asked around for opinions. Dragoons haven't really been, they haven't been used quite as well as they should have, simply because they, as we talked about earlier, right? They're not a very sexy unit, but that doesn't mean that they're not useful. In fact, I think, at least in my mind, dragoons are some of the most useful, because they are essentially, if you think about it, they are essentially motorized. The same kind of idea as motorized infantry. And so that means that they are very much able to, you're very much able to place just rifle divisions worth of firepower anywhere along the front that you like, and your enemy is hard pressed to stop you. And that's very important, because that means that you're able to do a lot of things that your enemy thinks is impossible, simply because your marching speed is so much quicker, right? So imagine these dragoons. You could theoretically come around this end and actually walk up this hill and appear here with this entire army none the wiser of what you're doing. Absolutely, I think that's possible. And so it depends on how this army engages, and whether these two armies really how aggressive they are. All right, so let's finish setting up the armies first. So actually, we probably shouldn't do that. So let's remove these three, and then I want to put another core on this end. We're gonna put this here. So this town is already under control. We have to do this. Let's call this town A. There's nothing wrong with me being unable to do this, okay? Just hang on. So this is town A. This says town B. 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 Oops. And finally, town E. And so again, the idea here is, what can these two armies do to really press their advantage and win in this kind of situation? I think I have an answer, at least for gray. So the idea I want to teach is, the difference between an offensive and a defensive, right? Like if blue simply stays here and lets gray sort of fortify both town A and town B, and then gray loops to the north and cuts off the rails, then suddenly town C might be starving. Actually, hold on, let's see. We don't have enough hills. This is not hilly. Let me add a few hills, just real quick. So like let's have a hill here. Excellent. This should be what? This should be, I feel like it's 0.5, yes. So this should be 0.5. And then the color itself should be, and there should be that. Okay. So let's do another one, something like this. So by creating these hills, what we are saying is this terrain is a lot more difficult to fight in, right? Like obviously by having all these different elevation lines, and keeping in mind that every single elevation line is 20 meters, right? Every single elevation line is 20 meters. 4. That means these are hills. Make no mistake about it. They are hills. Oops. Unlock infrastructure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, on my bad. We'll just copy that and then we'll paste that into the legend. Down here. Slightly smaller. And then we'll remove those two lines. Excellent. Okay. And then the legend itself can go away. So the idea really is, what can we do as Gray? I think the question will be an attacking question. So what can Gray do as an attacker to isolate and beat off, win, not beat off. That sounds win over over blue, and we're going to add a few more, a little bit more tricky terrain, because tricky terrain is what makes campaigns more interesting. So this will be like that, and then this will be like that. Excellent. This will be like that. Excellent. And then we'll have one last one. And this one is actually important. The reason why I put this particular mountain here, because by doing this, we are wait, not exactly that. One quick second before I go. Yeah. 1, 2, 2, 3. Closer. Let's put that up there. And so by having this high ground here, that is a little bit easier to approach and a little bit easier to actually attack into, what we're saying is, if black gains this high ground, this entire area becomes difficult, right? So if black can control this area, then that means it can control this. And by cutting off railways, you are essentially dooming blue to either attack into a prepared position or to starve and wait for reinforcements, right? So again, it's this idea of who can do what where and how well can they do it, that determines the victory of any campaign. So let's do this. Let's add few more hills. Well, it's just, yeah, like normally in real life you're never going to see you're never really going to see a terrain that is quite as boring as I had just then. So I thought we add in a few rolling hills, etc., just to make it a little bit more interesting, you know? And then we'll have this kind of stuff. Excellent. Oh. What? Oh, that particular line, where is it? It must be this curve, yes. Okay. That's good. Let's bring this curve up to here. Almost done, almost done. Why is this all the way down here? It should be like up there. That's okay. So then we'll bring this down just a little. Right, so this terrain is suddenly a little bit more appealing than before, because before it was just kind of yucky. We have, we have rolling hills, we have a few small mountains in the distance, we have a nice valley here. Actually, that's a good question. Would you guys watch that if I if I just did like a geography study? Don't tempt me. I might actually do it. Because actually, I'll be completely honest. I'm a huge fan of like geography. Yeah. Because terrain is really interesting, both from a urban development perspective, but also from just the ability for humanity to do things. Right, like terrain is one of those very, very important, but very often quite overlooked things that if we had paid more attention to, as we did more urban development and as we sort of understood how humanity worked better, that we could have, helped ourselves quite a bit more than the situation we're in right now. It's true. I mean, I certainly do wish that that we did. Yeah. I mean, it's completely understandable that we didn't, right? Because obviously humanity has been kind of, we've sort of went from one emergency to another for the past 100 or so years, and so it's kind of understandable why we didn't. That doesn't make it sort of easy to forgive, right? Well, exactly, because again, this is the last generation not taking care of our generation, or the last few generations not thinking too hard about our generation. But if we look at our generation now, how many of them would you say are really thinking about future generations, right? And so if that is to be the human condition, then I guess all I can do is welcome it. We are going to have, oh no, what am I saying? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 core of infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 core of infantry. 3, 1, 2, 3. So gray has dramatically more artillery, which is what we expect. Though it does look like it's a little bit smaller. Let's make it slightly bigger. There we go. Yeah, by just by making it bigger, we've made it bigger. That's how this works. And then there's an entire cavalry, dragoon army. 3 core, yeah, about dragoon army, just sitting here, ready to do some crazy things in the north. And coincidentally, doesn't this look better, right? Like now it's not quite so flat anymore. Obviously, nothing's gonna go on this end, unless they really want to, right? Because there is good reason. There is good reason to try to, as we've talked about before, get some cannons up here and to take, what was it? Town E. That's right. And to take Town E, because then you're forcing an engagement on this end, and you're also forcing an engagement on this end. And if you can pull the enemy apart, that is one of we talked about it actually in Go yesterday, right? If you can pull the enemy apart, that is one of the important things in being able to defeat them in smaller detail. Hold on, give me one quick second, just checking a text message. Yeah, no, just text from Hong Kong. It's all good. So yeah, no, because they're just getting up and looking at documents now, right? So work never sleeps. So we have the gray here. You know what? That's a good point. Gray is not very easy to see, so maybe we can't do gray like that. Maybe we do need to go back to 50. Oof. Wonder how that looks. Does that even look any different? It does look different, but it's not different enough. I don't want to go pure black though. Pure black makes it. We'll do 25s, yeah. Do 25s. It's all good. 25. 5. Oops. Now we're gonna select this. Give it no fill. Done. $25, $25, $25. Okay. All right. So I think we're going to end it here for today. Well, I mean, we are basically done. The question is now, is this a valid scenario? I guess, because from a force disposition perspective, blue has much better infantry guns. The Chassepot is has much greater range, but black has dark gray has an overwhelming superiority in both the number and the quality of artillery. And that's important, right? Because in this day and age, you know, your infantry can hit from a kilometer away, but this artillery is like 2-3 kilometers far. So they would really be walking into and like we're not in the Napoleonic era where, you know, you have just 2 rows of guys walking towards each other and shooting at point blank range. Like you're already getting closer and closer to sort of the modern, more dispersed kind of fire team tactics. And that doesn't make artillery any less deadly though, right? Like the artillery can still do massive amounts of damage. And that's kind of the problem, yeah. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3. We have, yeah. So this should be a. I'm not going to call it a fair fight, because in the defensive, you especially with better guns, you're going to have a better time. Like it's just easier to defend than it is to attack, for a whole bunch of reasons, the least of which is actually morale, right? Like, or the highest importance of which is morale, because it's much easier to wait than to have to march into fire. But that is completely negated by the fact that dark gray has so much more artillery than blue and is overwhelmingly better artillery than blue. Right, so this artillery that can just sit up here is already going to be a big influence on the fight that's going to happen here. And keeping in mind this is 2 kilometers, and that's 125 pixels. Yeah, 125 pixels is 2 kilometers, so very much you can hit this. And if we say 3, that would be what, 60, so about 190. So 3 kilometers from here you could hit the edge of the town. So you could very well just like push your way into the town and set up something here that makes it almost impossible for blue to attack back. And keeping in mind this is 60 meters up, right? 60 meters up, which means you're probably going to get a little bit more range. So let's say 4 kilometers range. 4 kilometers range is kind of crazy. Same thing here. 4 kilometers range means gray could get access to a lot of very nice firing, create a very nice firing arc from that same position. That's what I'm saying. So what can blue and gray respectively do about this? Well, that's an excellent question, and one that I will so I normally answer these the week after myself. So next Sunday I'll have my own answer to this that everyone else can look at if they want to. If they don't, I don't particularly care. This is it. I mean, it is very much one of the nerdiest dad hobbies that there can be, right? So I don't mind if no one cares. The point is, I have the Discord on a lockdown, and they have to look at this if they want to watch a stream that was done by me. So obviously they don't have much of a choice. Anyway, we're done for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to our Twitch viewers, to our YouTube viewers, to our Discord viewers, even though they're mean. Before I end, do we have any other questions? Excellent. Could we make the bottom? Could we make the bottom a sea? Could we add water to this? You mean, right? No. No, I don't want to. To be honest, I don't even need this down here. So maybe what we will do is we will actually, let's take this. Oh, let's take the entire thing. Let's put it up here. And then I will simply, oh wait, let me take, where's the rectangle here? Let's unlock that. There are about two, so there are 2 opposing forces, blue and light gray. Blue has essentially 2 armies. One is sitting in town D, the other smaller one is sitting in town C, and gray is sort of currently, it just moved into the theater and it is sitting as one big army group here. But we will of course see that, or at least in my view, this might become its own army, and then this becomes its own army. So we still have basically, 2 main armies and 2 smaller armies dealing with each other. The objectives of this force, that's an excellent question. Blue is to defend. I should actually make that clear. That's an excellent point. Let me make that clear. I'll put it up here, and we'll call it gray to attack. Oops. Gray to attack. So the idea is that the gray force in this case wants to push the blue away from this little valley, and their goal. This is an isolated theater of a greater war between blue and gray that is happening elsewhere. But that doesn't mean that these two armies aren't important. They are very much important, and so they are very much also how do we say it? They are also very much their victory can affect the rest of their victory can affect the rest of the war quite broadly, because this is obviously a very big transport hub, right? Like we can see the rail lines, one that is going straight across, one that is going in this direction, and so you can assume that blue homeland is somewhere sitting in northeast, gray somewhere in the southwest, and the point is to stop this this rail line and to kick blue out of this area. I think that is good. Yeah. Any other questions before I end this for today? Excellent. Excellent. So let me just... I'll export this image and then we'll be done. So this is 2021 06. Today's the 13th. Tomorrow will be the 14th. Right? Yes. Yeah. So we're going to export that there. Excellent. And I'll work on this tomorrow. Yeah, and this will be posted tomorrow in a variety of places. Really. Okay, we're good. Excellent. So with that, it's time for us to say goodnight. Good night. Thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, please don't do Chrome. Please download Firefox. Yeah, actually, we could talk about Google on Tuesday, I guess. Yeah, we might as well. Okay. Perfect. Okay, bye guys.